Honorable Thring.
Honorable Speaker, on the 26th of March 2020, a 21-day lockdown was imposed on South Africans with the intention of helping to adequately prepare our healthcare facilities to flatten the curve. It is the belief of the ACDP that during the last 2 years, our constitution, the principles and values that it upholds, was violated. Cabinet ministers were given far-reaching powers, passing government gazettes and usurping the freedoms of South Africans. Simultaneously, the legislative arm of Parliament was bypassed as gazettes were introduced without debate, consent, and interrogation by members of Parliament. Worryingly, MPs were unable to execute their constitutional mandate to hold the executive to account, and Cabinet stood by. A private member's bill was tabled by a member of this House to correct this anomaly, but was shot down by the ruling party, and again, Cabinet stood by. A cabinet appears to be power drunk. After 2 years of the national state of disaster, there are attempts to continue with draconian and authoritarian legislation, only this time through the departments of COCTA, Employment and Labour, and Health draft regulations. For 2 years, we have heard cabinet members say, our decisions are informed by science. But when renowned scientists like Dr. Pierre Corey, Dr. Robert Malone, one of the pioneers of mRNA technology, Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Vladimir Zelensko, a doctor to presidents, raise their concerns about the COVID narratives, these scientists are threatened, deplatformed, and discredited. Locally, over 70 South African doctors have written to the Department of Health and SAPRA, raising their concerns about the handling of COVID, and have only received a cold shoulder. More recently, your own scientists, like Professor Shabir Mahdi, Glenda Gray, amongst others, called the new draft regulations an ill-conceived and misdirected attempt to present SARS-CoV-2 infections as there has been an evolution of widespread population immunity against severe COVID-19 and death in South Africa. The recent announcements made by the President on COVID, the draft regulations are nothing short of mandates by stealth, which are awakening the church, the sleeping giant of South Africa, other religious groups, as well as the vaccinated and unvaccinated, who understand that our freedoms and democracy is under threat. To quote from Hans Christian Andersen, the emperor is naked, and this cabinet is using fig leaves to cover up. Cabinet members who know the truth but who choose to remain silent are culpable. The ACDP will speak up against every violation of our constitutional rights, against every violation of the Nuremberg Code, and every scientific inconsistency wherever it is found. We support this motion of no confidence. I thank you.
Honorable General Olomisa.
Madam Speaker, on a point of order.
Order, yes.
The Chief Whip of the majority party has just said that she will vaccinate the Honourable Thring by force. I think that is objectionable, and I would ask you to consider that and make a ruling at an appropriate occasion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
On a point of order, Honourable Speaker.
Honourable Thring.
Honourable Speaker, I would like to know whether the threat by the House, by the Chief Whip, is actually an indication of what is going to be done to the rest of the population of South Africa.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, Honourable Member, I request Honourable Chief Whip, will you please withdraw that statement? Please withdraw, Honourable Member.
Thring. I withdraw, Honourable Speaker. I withdraw. I don't have any need to vaccinate you. I will will never vaccinate you, let alone by force. No, I won't.
Take your
Just
seats.
go and
Thank
vaccinate.
you,
God.
honorable member.